Do you think talking is going to solve it? How many times have you found yourself in this position? Trying to fix something that is clearly broken? You talk, you try to argue, you explain yourself, but she keeps treating you coldly. You're there, begging for attention, wanting to do everything right, while she turns her back on you. You try and try, but the reality is that it's only making you lose respect. And you know why? Because you're playing exactly the game she wants. But there comes a moment when you need to stop and realize, this game isn't working. It's time to change the rules. The question is, how do you turn the tables? The secret, my friend, is not in more talking or more explanations. What really destabilizes a woman is something much simpler than you imagine: silence. Yes, silence. That silence that makes her uncomfortable, unsure of what's happening. The silence that makes her wonder what you're thinking, why you've disappeared, and what you're doing. That silence changes the whole dynamic of the relationship and puts you in control. And today, I'll show you exactly how this silence can completely turn the game in your favor. Before we get started, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for more tips on how to turn the game in relationships. Leave a like to support the content and comment on your experiences. Have you ever gone through something like this? How did you handle it? Let's share ideas and grow together. The power of silence. When you stop insisting, when you stop chasing, silence begins to act as a powerful tool. And why? Because her mind doesn't know how to handle the emptiness. Suddenly, you're no longer available at any time of the day. You're no longer responding to all her messages, and she starts to wonder, what happened? The doubt starts to eat her up inside. If before she had you in the palm of her hand, now things are different. Curiosity, which was once just a small detail, now becomes an obsession. She starts to wonder, why did he disappear? Who is he with? These kinds of thoughts begin to invade her mind to the point where she can't think about anything else. Even if her interest in you was lukewarm before, when you disappear and create a mystery around your actions, that interest intensifies. This is something psychological, inherent to human behavior. What is scarce becomes valuable. And her first reaction will be to seek out signs of you. She'll start sending you those random messages, or even liking your social media posts, just to see if you'll respond. But what she really wants to know is, what's going on? Why did he suddenly vanish? Putting yourself first and prioritizing your life is the most secure way to make an impact on her mind. If you want access to a set of psychological strategies that will affect her mind, making her beg for you to stay in her life, check the link available in the description of my video. The game of uncertainty. Here lies the power of silence. It disarms her. And the uncertainty you create begins to consume her mind. She starts sending messages that seem harmless, but are full of intentions. She wants answers. She might even ask mutual friends about you, trying to figure out what you're doing. And any hint that another woman might be involved is enough to set off red flags in her head. But the game doesn't end there. If you maintain your stance and continue firm in your decision to step back, something interesting happens. She starts to play the victim. She might accuse you of being cold, of playing with her feelings. And here's the twist: this is a desperate attempt to regain control. She wants to make you believe that you're the problem so that she can regain the upper hand. You've seen this happen before, right? She tries to make you feel guilty. But understand one thing, the real culprit here isn't you. It was her actions that pushed you away. The silence you adopt, at this point, ceases to be just the absence of words. It transforms into a strong presence, a presence that dominates her thoughts and places her in a position of vulnerability that she wasn't prepared to face. The collapse of the illusion of control. When you stay silent, she realizes that the illusion of control she thought she had has been shattered. Up until that point, she believed she was in charge. She thought she had you in her hands, manipulating your feelings and reactions. But suddenly, you vanish. You disappear from her radar. and that causes a devastating impact on her mind. Now, she's no longer the one calling the shots. She's no longer the one in control of the situation. The power has shifted. And that loss of control hits her like a punch in the gut. She panics. But don't be fooled, her panic isn't because she truly loves or cares about you. It's because she realizes she has lost the control she had over you. And in her desperation, she'll try everything to regain that control. She'll send messages, try to get closer, use emotional games that worked before. But now, you're in a different position. If you give in, if you show any sign that you're still at her mercy, she'll go back to treating you the same way, with the same disregard, because in her mind, you just handed the control back to her. The moment to turn the game around. This is the crucial point. You need to stand firm. It doesn't matter how tempting it is to respond, it doesn't matter how much she tries to manipulate you emotionally. Maintaining your stance and your silence is the key to turning the game around. Now, she's rethinking every attitude, every word she said. She's questioning everything she thought she knew about you. What was once an easy game for her is now completely out of control. And it's in this moment that she starts looking for you. She wants to regain the control she thought she had, but the silence you've adopted has left her ungrounded. She's disarmed, lost. Rediscovering your value. Now, with silence, she starts to realize something she overlooked before, your value. When you were always available, she got used to your presence. She believed you would always be there, no matter what she said or did. But when you decide to pull away, when you adopt silence, she starts to realize how important you were. This forced absence makes her reflect. She starts to feel the weight of your absence. And the silence, at this moment, becomes something much more than just a physical absence. It's an absence that forces her to reflect on her actions. She starts questioning why you're no longer chasing after her, why you're no longer trying to please her. And suddenly, the game changes. That man she believed was always at her disposal now refuses to be treated like a doormat. And that man demands respect. When you stop chasing and stop being the predictable guy, you redefine the dynamic of the relationship. She begins to value you. And if she wants her attention back, she'll have to show that she's learned the lesson and is willing to treat you with the respect you deserve. You in control. Now, you're in control. She's no longer the one setting the rules. And she realizes it. You've regained the power she thought she had over you. And nothing is more attractive to a woman than a man who stands firm, who doesn't let emotional games shake him. This is the moment when you turn the game around. She might try everything, cry, apologize, even beg for your attention. But it will only work if you know how to stay firm. This is the true power of silence. Not giving in. Not letting yourself be manipulated. Staying in control of the situation. Everything we've talked about here isn't just about earning a woman's respect. It's about completely transforming how you see yourself. When you stand your ground and refuse to accept less than you deserve, you're not just regaining her respect, you're redefining who you are. From today, stop accepting crumbs. Hold your head high, and above all, never ask for permission to be who you truly are. If she wants to be by your side, she'll have to rise to your level. This is the power of silence. It makes her rethink her actions, reevaluate who you are, and most importantly, recognize the value you've always had. Now, the choice is yours. Will you keep accepting less than you deserve, or will you take control of your life?